On the news, Rivers APC suspends party chairman and legal advisor over anti-party activities. Court stops Labour Party's chairman, secretary and 2 others from parading as national officers. And police invite APC Rivers governorship candidate Tonye Cole over murder allegation. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Adigun. Fresh crisis might be brewing in the All Progressives Congress APC in Rivers State following the suspension of the party's chairman Emeka Beke and legal advisor Ehiachukwu Azubike over alleged anti-party activities and financial misconduct. The special leader of the party's executive committee in the state, Chike Enyida, who led the other party members to a media briefing in Port Harcourt, disclosed this on Wednesday. The executive members also berated the immediate past Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, for failing to lead the APC in Rivers State to victory since leaving office as governor in 2015. They alleged that Amechi's earlier instruction backfired on the APC during the March 18 governorship election, as no contrary instruction was given to the party supporters in the various local government areas to counter the earlier instruction. The executive members therefore called on the national leadership of the party to investigate the activities of Rotimi Amechi in Rivers State and to take appropriate actions to reposition the party. Still in Rivers State, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Port Harcourt, the police said the police command has invited the APC governorship candidate Tonye Cole for questioning following its clash with members of the ruling All Progressives Congress on Monday. The clash erupted after members of the PDP stopped those from the APC and Cole from gaining entrance into the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in the state to access certified true copies of election documents. While confirming the recent development, the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, Okon Effiong, also clarified that they were also inviting some members of the PDP in relation to allegations that 2 people were shot and 1 person killed. Effiong said the Police Commission is investigating the allegation, adding that if a corpse is not presented, the death cannot be confirmed. Joining me to speak on the troubled political atmosphere in Rivers State is political affairs analyst Jide Ojo. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, there has been so much political unrest in Rivers State even before the general elections, all of which culminated into the clash between the APC and PDP on Monday. Now, where do you think all of this chaos emanated from?
Well, thank you, Simisola. Good evening, Nigerians. Rivers State has always presented a red state in terms of violence from time way back 1999. It has largely been a one-party state, and not until 2015 did we start seeing a fierce competition between the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party. However, the immediate cause of the recent clash, which happened about 48 hours ago, or 72 hours ago rather, was because of the post-election dispute resolution procedures. The APC wanted certified true copy of election materials from the INEC office, and the supporters of PDP said, no, you cannot get that. We also are interested in having these certified true copies. I recall that about last week, 3 lawyers of APC were purportedly arrested by the police, and eventually I think they have been released by now. Long story short, you need to understand the animosity between PDP and APC. That it didn't start today. Way back in 2015, in 2019, in fact, APC lost out to PDP in the war of attrition, and the Supreme Court did not allow APC to present any candidate for the 2019 general elections. Now, in this round of election, Tonye Cole emerged leader or the standard bearer for APC in Rivers State. And after that, Senator Magnus Abe left and got the ticket of SDP, Social Democratic Party. And from your first report, you understand that there is internal wranglings in APC as we speak, where the chairman and the secretary had been suspended for anti-party activity. So it's a lot of issues that needed to be unpacked. On one hand, there's intra-party crisis plaguing APC in Rivers. On another hand, there's inter-party crisis, the crisis between PDP and APC, which, like I tried to give the background, did not start today. All through the electioneering period, all through the campaign period, there were palpable fears, there were attacks on APC members in the state. Of course, here we now have a scenario where Tonyeko claimed, or his team claimed, that a person was shot dead and another injured. And the police has now invited him to come and confirm that and present the corpse of the person who died. Otherwise, what the police said they have is the information and confirmation that one person was shot in the leg. So this is the much I know about the brewing crisis in Rivers State between APC and PDP.
Okay, now in the face of the unrest, the political unrest in the state, do you think that a reconciliatory move by the state governor, Nyesom Wike, will in any way douse tensions between the two major political parties?
Don't expect reconciliation between Wike and APC, because what has happened now is that, in fact, if there's somebody that should be accused of anti-party, it was Wike, because Wike was the one that delivered the presidency to APC on February 25. And after that, he decided to back his own candidates in the March 18 governorship and state houses of assembly election. Whereas someone like Rotimi Amaechi, who is seen as the leader of the party in Rivers State, has been dormant and even has been very critical of the elections. So there's a saying in my part of the world that an elephant that has a swollen scrotum is a thing of joy to the hunter. The crisis, the intra-party crisis in APC, is a delight to Governor Wike and PDP, and they will just be so delighted because according to section 285 of the Constitution, you have only 180 days within which to plead your case at the tribunal. And that 180 days starts to count from, you have 21 days to file your case at the tribunal. That 21 days is counting from March 20 or March 21, when the result of the Rivers State governorship election had been published or announced and a return made. From that day, 21 days starts to count, which is why Toyekol and APC is trying to get all the certified true copy to be able to file their suits, because they have this just 21 days. And after the 21 days, they only have 180 days within which to prove their case. So the more crisis that APC has will be helping the PDP to ensure that, because PDP had already won. So it's not even in their interest that APC should resolve their crisis in Rivers State. And they might actually be the one fueling that crisis as an external body.
Well, Jide Ojo, political affairs analyst, as always, thank you for your time and your contribution. Still in politics, the Federal Capital Territory High Court has issued an order restraining the national chairman of the Labour Party Julius Abure, the National Secretary Farouk Ibrahim, from parading themselves as national leaders of the party. The National Organizing Secretary Clement Ojukwu and Treasurer Oluchi Okpara were also stopped. Justice Hamza Mwazu issued the restraining order on Wednesday in Abuja while ruling in an ex parte application argued by senior counsel James Onoja. Onoja had in the application informed the court of how the restrained national officers allegedly forged several documents of the FCTI court to carry out unlawful substitutions in the last general elections. He said following their indictment by a police investigation, the officers are to be arraigned in court, adding that warrants for their arrest have already been obtained. The Senate on Wednesday has stepped down the confirmation of Engineer Funke Opeke for appointment as a member of the Universal Service Provision Board. President Muhammadu Buhari had on March 29 sent the names in a letter read by the Senate leader, Senator Abdullahi Gobir, at the floors of the Red Chamber. Reading the report of the Committee on Communications at the Red Chamber, on behalf of the chairman of Senate Committee on Communications, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the lawmaker representing Yobe South, Senator Ibrahim Bomai, read out the names of the nominees, who were thereafter confirmed.
One of the nominees, Engineer Funke Opeke, was unavoidably absent due to scheduled medicals outside the country. Recommendation: the committee, after exhaustive deliberations and scrutiny of the CVs and other supporting documents of the three nominees, and having satisfied their qualification and experiences, hereby recommend that the Senate do confirm the three nominees.
From the report here, these three nominees have outstanding pedigrees. They do not have anything that may be said to be adverse against them. In view of the recommendation of this committee, I urge the Senate to give its nod for the confirmation of these nominees as requested. I so submit.
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, considered the report of the Committee on Communications on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Governing Board of the Universal Service Provision, USP, and approved the nominations of Mr. Ahmed Abubakar Walama, Mrs. Fatima A. Kiari, Engineer Benga Adebayo as Governing Board of the Universal Service Provision, USP. And the Senate stood down the approval of the nomination of Engineer Funke Opeke. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole?
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Africa can become the first green civilization to use renewable fuel for the purpose of a transformative economy by using its young population and effectively deploying green manufacturing on a scale required to become the global factory of the world. Osinbajo said this during the official signing of the Carbon Vista joint venture agreement between the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority (NSIA) and its development partner Vitol. The Vice President added that Africa can become the first truly green civilization, the first civilization on earth to use renewable fuel for purposes of a transformative economy journey. There are more details in this report. In November 2021, at the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP26 in Glasgow, United Kingdom, President Muhammadu Buhari made a commitment that Nigeria will cut its carbon emission to net zero by 2060. According to the president, it is a necessary step towards ridding the world of the devastating effects of climate change. To this end, the federal government, in partnership with the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority (NSIA) and Vitol, have signed a Carbon Vista agreement worth $50 million, an initiative that aims to support Nigeria in meeting its net zero targets by investing in carbon avoidance and removal projects. Speaking at the launching, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said the importance of an enabling environment is crucial for Nigeria to play a global role in voluntary carbon markets.
Africa can become the first truly green civilization, the first civilization on earth to use renewable fuels for purposes of a transformative economic journey. And how can we do that? Of course, we can do that because, first of all, we are the lowest emitters today. And if we're going to develop our industry for the rest of the world, we can start from where we are today. We do not have to start from where the rest of the world has, especially the global north, is at the moment.
In her remarks, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, commended the initiative, saying the Carbon Vista Agreement aligns with the several key priorities of the federal government.
The successful deployment of capital towards high-quality projects such as Carbon Vista promises will drive economic growth and contribute to national priorities such as inclusive development, employment, export promotion, and also improvement in the lives of Nigerians.
Partners in the initiative expressed readiness to support Nigeria in meeting its net zero targets by investing in carbon avoidance and removal projects in the country.
The whole point of this is to invest in 2 to 3 propositions, and on that basis raise additional capital, raise additional third-party capital. The potential of this is limitless, but we first need to just demonstrate that we are able to originate, we are able to invest, we are able to generate credit, and we're able to monetize those credits, and then additional private capital will come in.
So Nigeria stands to benefit from a number of different things. One of them will be foreign direct investment, so this is an initial phase in that. Public-private partnerships, as the NSIA VTOL partnership is a clear example of, but also on top of the investments there will be lots of co-benefits for the local people in terms of environmental benefits, in terms of health benefits, so clean water, cleaner cooking, land regeneration, all of the things that will not just benefit the country in terms of its carbon footprint, but also the local people in terms of their objectives for day-to-day living.
The $50 million, which is an initial sum, is to be committed into projects such as climate-smart agriculture, green industrial technologies, and waste management, cutting across several sectors, including agriculture, energy, and manufacturing. Simisola Adigun, TV360 News. We'll take a break here, but still to come, a bill to establish FCT Sports Commission scales second reading. We'll bring you details of the story and others after this break. Here's a recap of our top stories tonight. Fresh crisis might be brewing in the All Progressives Congress APC in Rivers State, following the suspension of the party's chairman Emeka Beke and the legal advisor Ihenyechukwu Azubike over alleged anti-party activities and financial misconduct. The executive members also berated the immediate past Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, for failing to lead the APC in Rivers State to victory since leaving office as governor in 2015. The executive members therefore called on the national leadership of the APC to investigate the activities of Rotimi Amechi in Rivers State and to take appropriate actions to reposition the party. We also told you that the Federal Capital Territory High Court has issued an order restraining the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, the national secretary, Farouk Ibrahim, and 2 others from parading themselves as national officers of the party. Justice Hamza Mwazu issued the restraining order on Wednesday in Abuja while ruling in an ex parte application argued by senior counsel James Onoja, who said following their indictment by a police investigation, the officers are to be arraigned in court as warrants for their arrest have already been obtained. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. South Korea will begin weekly tests of sewage produced by its major cities and towns to track the spread of COVID-19 and identify future waves. According to officials at the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, the wastewater surveillance will potentially provide a cheaper and more sustainable tool in the country's pandemic response. The officials also say the plans could improve the detection of other outbreaks such as influenza or drug-resistant bacteria. Break here and return with more stories in business. To stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Let's now join Mary Kanu for updates in business. Over to you now, Mary.
Thank you, Simisola. Welcome to Business News. President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship with the mandate to guide the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act of 2022. Charging members of the council to harness the potential of Nigeria's young and innovative population, President Buhari highlighted the importance of the commission in driving economic growth and job creation, as well as plans to consolidate on the gains recorded in the sector under his administration.
The council I am inaugurating today is a critical governance structure in the implementation of the Act, which will ensure that government agencies, entrepreneurs, investors, and support organizations collaborate with the startup ecosystem to achieve the goals of promoting the growth of a vibrant and sustainable startup ecosystem. I had earlier directed the Secretariat, the National Information Technology Development Agency, to commence the execution of the implementation plan it developed. One of the important aspects of the implementation plan is the development of the startup portal, which will serve as a platform that will drive the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022 and collaboration between all stakeholders. Similarly, I hereby direct the Secretariat to ensure faithful implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022. I urge all Council members and other stakeholders to support the Secretariat in implementing the provisions of the Act. With this inauguration, which serves as our first meeting, I hereby direct the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Fantami, to convene another meeting of the Council in May 2023 to make further progress on the implementation of the Act.
In his remarks, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Pantami, said digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship are the two prerequisites towards building an indigenous economy, adding that the inauguration of the Council would support the administration to consolidate the gains and achievements recorded in the digital economy sector.
Year in, year out, this administration has been setting new records when it comes to ICT contribution to GDP. A recent evaluation conducted by OSGF, FCDO, and KPMG indicated that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has increased revenue generation from the digital economy sector. In 2019, it was around 51 billion USD, while in 2022, it was up to 408 billion. Meaning quarterly contribution from 51 billion to 408 billion, an increase of 594%. This is indeed commendable, and I believe that the council to be inaugurated here is going to consolidate the achievements and the gains we have recorded so far.
We'll take a break now. I'm back with Stock Market Report. Executives market closed further in the red zone by 1.88%. Its third consecutive decline this week. Investors have, since this month began, been in the profit-taking mood on some counters that had appreciated this year. This month, the market has decreased by 2.24%, well, driven by a record dip in consumer goods stocks. Investors booked about 554 billion naira loss to close down at 28.8 trillion naira. Airtel Africa and Ikeja Hotel made the top laggards league after witnessing a combined 148 naira loss. Now, at the close of trading, investors exchanged over 197 million shares in 3,506 deals. Now, over now to the global market. It's another mixed trading day, and for the second consecutive day, we see Asia's Nikkei in bearish trading after a key U.S. labor report showed job openings dropped to their lowest level in nearly 2 years in February. Inversely, the FTSE and Dow Jones are currently trading high at 0.37% and 0.11%. Well, that's all on Stock Market Review. Simsala, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. And in the United States, former President Donald Trump has accused Juan Merchan, the presiding judge, in his prosecution of being biased. Trump was arrested on Tuesday and was temporarily in police custody ahead of his arraignment. In an indictment sheet released by Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, the former president was charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Well, it's now time for Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian singer Davido has set another record for himself days after the release of his first studio album titled Timeless by revealing he will be handling 2 roles at this year's Forbes on the Charity Summit. The singer will be speaking and performing at this summit, which will be held in Gaborone in Botswana from April 23rd to 26th. Davido's new album Timeless peaked at number 2 on the US Apple Music album chart, becoming the highest charting album by an Afrobeat singer. Forbes announced that YBNL music artist Fireboy will also be speaking at the event. Afrobeat singer Burna Boy is set to make history in the United States as the first Nigerian artist to headline a stadium concert, according to Billboard. Taking his Love Harmony tour across Europe and America, the show is set to hold July 8, 2023 at New York City Citi's Field. This isn't the first time Burna Boy will be setting such a record in the United States. In April 2022, he became the first Nigerian artist to headline a show at Madison Square Garden. That's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
The bill for an act to establish a sports commission in the nation's capital, Abuja, has scaled second reading on Wednesday. The commission will be charged with the responsibility of administering, encouraging, and developing sports and games throughout the Federal Capital Territory. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Philip Aduda, further assured that the bill, if passed, will give way for rapid development of sports and economic growth in the Federal Capital.
The functions of the Commission, amongst others, include to encourage the development, organization, and participation in sports in the FCT, to coordinate and integrate efforts to raise the standard of performance in the sports in the FCT, to promote in cooperation with other sports bodies or sports groups the physical fitness and general well-being of all persons in the FCT.
There's a need more than ever before to give concentration towards the development of sporting activities in the FCT. The FCT being the melting point of Nigerians is one area, even though not a state, but the Constitution says the FCT shall be seen as if it were a state. So whatever is operational in states of the nations should be operational in Abuja. But I think more importantly, Mr. President, that sport is a venue of not just for the recreational purpose, and indeed for business, is one event that unites people.
This is actually not a new bill. It's actually to legalize what is already in place. They have a Department of Sports in FCT, and FCT being considered as a state should have a commission, an agency that should take care of the activities of sports in Abuja.
A bill for an act to establish the FCT Sports Commission to be charged with the responsibility of administering, encouraging, and developing sports and games throughout FCT and for other matters thereto. 2023 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Sports and Social Development to report back within 4 weeks.
Well, that's all on News Now this evening. Many thanks for watching. I'm Simisola Atigun. Bye for now.